I think in some ways this is probably pretty typical. With all the cash on the sidelines, I mean, I would say we should be quite bullish, actually.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. Tom Lee shares bold market outlooks and what's ahead for stocks and crypto. Big insights coming. Let's dive in and see.
Welcome back. Stocks near some session highs. Every sector currently green except energy, led by consumer discretionary this morning. Joining us here at Post 9 is Tom Lee, Fundstrat Global Advisors, Head of Research, and Fundstrat Capital Chief Investment Officer, also a CNBC contributor. Tom, it's good to have you. Welcome. Let's talk about confounding expectations, wouldn't you say? What do you make of this morning's action?
Well, in some ways it's not a surprise because, as you know, like Art Cashin had the adage, sell the buildup, buy the invasion. And I think today is an example of that markets were kind of already nervous and anxious, and we already saw de-risking, and the VIX was already elevated. So I think in some ways this is probably pretty typical.
Does it change your call for the rest of the year at all? And you think it displaces any other priorities or has any effect on bill passage or how that might get constructed?
In some ways, it actually strengthens the case for stocks to do better into year end, because at the start of this year, we would have said U.S. bombing a nuclear facility is a black swan. Oil would be 120, stocks should be down 10%. And then we have the event and oil is not really surging and stocks are up. So I'd almost say that you've put another stress test into the market. We've seen it pass it, and I think it means stocks should do pretty well into year end.
Do you think Hormuz remains a risk?
I do, but Brian Sullivan was off camera was mentioning a lot of strategic reasons why that may not be the case. I'm sure he's going to have his views, but I would say I'm watching oil, and if oil isn't surging, then I think it just means that the risks of the straits being closed is lower.
I guess when you think about the impact for U.S. stocks and bonds and the dollar, it comes down to growth and inflation expectations. And the key, Tom, is whether either of those things have changed in light of recent geopolitical events.
Yeah, and as you know, core CPI doesn't include energy. And as you know, when the ECB looks at core inflation, they exclude housing. Housing is not part of ECB's core CPI, and they're cutting. If you calculated US CPI on the same exact basis, it's lower than Europe. So I do think there should be a dovish tilt towards the Fed, or that's the upside opportunity into year end as well.
Michael Saylor is once again making waves in the crypto world after reaffirming his ultra-bullish stance on Bitcoin. As BTC surged 5% overnight to regain the $105,000 level, Saylor responded with one of his signature cryptic tweets. This time, he posted an AI-generated image of himself standing in a rocky coastline next to a black car, wearing an orange tie nod to Bitcoin. The caption read, "Meet me at Land's End," referencing a famous spot in Western Cornwall, UK. The post seems symbolic, inviting people to step back, hold Bitcoin, and watch market chaos like tourists enjoying the view calm, detached, and confident. Saylor's company, Strategy, formerly MicroStrategy, continues doubling down on Bitcoin. Just yesterday, they announced another purchase 245 more BTC worth about $26 million. This brings their total holdings to a staggering 592,345 BTC, now valued over $62 billion. Only a week ago, Strategy disclosed an even bigger move, a $1 billion acquisition of 10,100 BTC. Bitcoin's recent rally follows easing geopolitical tensions in the Middle East, with investors quickly rotating back into risk assets, from $100,750 to nearly $106,000 in just 24 hours. Bitcoin's spike aligns with Saylor's unwavering belief. No matter the turbulence, Bitcoin remains the future, and he's not backing down.
Tom, there seems to be a speculative nature to the market that's creeping in again. I wonder if it's a concern. And when I say that, I'm talking about the reception of some of the IPOs. I mean, granted, very well received, but Circle's now got a $62 billion market value. CoreWeave almost 90 billion. You got a lot of SPACs coming back. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
Even Chamath is coming back with some SPACs. Any concern to you or no?
It is. I mean, those are echoes of 2021, which is some stocks get fantastically bizarre valuations, and I'm not naming any. And
You want names?
and then there is signs of speculation. And but the one thing that was true in 2021 that's not true now is when I meet with fund managers, in 2021 they said there was no stock they could buy because everything was expensive. That's actually not true anymore. Now the people I talk to are saying, look, the numbers have been better and numbers are going up, but the macro is making them uncertain. So there's actually a lot less risk taking by institutional investors.
So to the extent a speculative part of the market is something you monitor, it's not hitting a level that is that concerning to you.
Yeah, I mean, to me, David, it's the sign that the cohort that is speculating are the ones that bought the dip in April. As you know, it was retail, the Robinhood community that was buying in April when institutions were selling and raising cash and high net worth was raising cash. So it's the same crew now that is buying, the circles at one times assets under management, which is tremendous, but it's not speculation to me yet because I'd say high net worth is not really that invested and institutions are still pretty cautious.
So what is the underlying view that you have that makes you bullish? Is it that the economy is hanging in? Is it that earnings are picking up?
Well,
what's the fundamental reason?
I think when we look at macro, on the margin, things are better. We have better visibility on tariffs into 2026. We have regulation and tax legislation visibility into 2026. I think the Fed is now being questioned about their unwillingness to cut. I mean, it was apparent 5 out of the 10 questions during the press conference were about that exact question. So there's a dovish Fed. I know consumers are overly cautious right now, but as you know, inflation expectations are far above CPI. That's a positive surprise if delivered inflation's lower. And then businesses have been really resilient. I think actually the economy might be weakening, but earnings have been better. So overall, with all the cash on the sidelines, I would say we should be quite bullish actually.
XRP is on the rise today, jumping over 11% in just 24 hours to trade around $2.21 on June 24. This rally comes after a major geopolitical shift, a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Iran. Announced by former U.S. President Donald Trump and confirmed by both Israeli and Iranian officials, the truce has brought a wave of relief to global markets. As fears of escalation fade, investors are shifting back into riskier assets like cryptocurrencies, giving XRP and the broader market a strong push upward. Adding fuel to XRP's rise is the quiet but steady accumulation by mid-sized whale wallets. Addresses holding between 10,000 and 100,000 XRP have been growing their positions since December 2024, even during times of tension like the recent conflict. These holders now control over 7.34 billion XRP, up significantly from last year, signaling long-term confidence and helping support the price during recent market swings. From a technical standpoint, XRP has bounced from a strong support zone between $1.82 and $1.92, where key moving averages and trend lines align. This level triggered a major rally back in April, and traders are watching closely for a repeat. If XRP can break above its current pattern, the path to $3.36 and potentially new highs looks increasingly possible. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.